What did we discuss in the morning?
Why?
Why?
What? Why?
What, why, how? What about what, why, and how? What about it?
Three categories of learning.
Three categories of learning.
Knowledge.
Knowledge, skills, values. Okay, good. What else did we discuss in the morning?
Introduction.
Introduction. Some principles of powerful introductions.
Story, question, interaction. Statistics.
Yeah, story, question, interaction, statistic. Can you think of any other way you can introduce a seminar? Joke. Sometimes, not all the time, I think only once or twice till I started with a video. I just played a thing, and they're like, okay. Because if you're talking and a video starts, you'll miss it. So it immediately stops everyone talking, because they don't want to miss the video. So that sometimes the video could work. Now, some people sometimes start a seminar by scaring the audience. Right? They'll, you're sitting down, and then all of a sudden you feel something touching your foot or your leg. It's not really recommended to scare your audience to start off with, because they'll be in anxiety throughout your whole presentation. So you can shock them, but don't scare them. I don't think that's a very good way of starting an audience, starting a presentation, just in case you scare them. Okay. So facilitation. Definition of facilitation is to make easy the achievement of knowledge, which is theory, skills, practical ability, or values and appropriate attitudes. Now look at this definition very carefully. Does this mean I'm teaching? Does this definition mean I'm teaching? Does it mean I'm teaching? Does it mean I'm lecturing? No, it doesn't mean I'm lecturing. If I can make knowledge, skills and values, if I can make it easy for them to achieve by them doing the work, why wouldn't I? Does that make sense? So facilitation, the achievement of knowledge, skills, values doesn't mean that I'm lecturing. All I'm doing, as you were saying, is creating a space or an environment to make learning knowledge, skills and values easy. So all of a sudden it's a new way of thinking about teaching. Because often, when I'm sharing like let's say in London people like to talk. They like to talk. So let them talk, no problem. But you guide the talk, you guide the interaction, you guide the group work so that you may still come to a particular conclusion based on the objectives of your facilitation. Does that make sense? So a lot of the times, even when I'm in Australia, it's quite funny. There's a big resistance to religion. There's a big resistance to authority, and there's a big resistance to believe in a book. Okay, so already we've got three obstacles, because we have a spiritual side, there's sometimes books involved, literatures of wisdom, and the aspect of teaching. But when I'm sitting down in class and doing group exercises, by the end of a group exercise, sometimes people are speaking word for word lines from the Gita, or a different literature, or some sort of poem, word for word. But it doesn't mean it has to come from me. Does that make sense? So it's interesting, you create a learning environment, but you can't be attached to always the knowledge coming from you, the wisdom coming from you. That you just become this absolute channel of wisdom, and that the audience don't have a clue what they're speaking about in your head to decipher and disseminate for them. So you're just creating an environment that allows these three to be achieved easily. That's it. So some seminars I've given, I've only spoken for 10 minutes, yet I've achieved all the objectives because of the questions or the interaction or the various exercises that are set. Does that make sense? So there's different ways or styles of facilitation, which then is in your handbook. And I have absolutely zero clue which page it's on. So let's take a look. It is maybe page 13? Can you see page 13? Okay, read them out.
So many methods.
Huh? Yeah. Read out just a bowl. Just a bowl.
Lecturing.
Loud.
Lecturing or class discussion, group tasks, making presentations, working in pairs, simulation exercises, brainstorming, demonstrations, student research, playing games.
Yeah. So, does that make sense? There's a variety of facilitation methods that you can use to still achieve your same point, your same objectives. That's just how many? About 7? No, maybe 10? Yeah? I've got another 140 facilitation methods on my laptop. So if anyone says that the only way to learn is to sit down and speak, then they're wrong. There's many other ways of learning. Games. There's something called a fishbowl exercise. Ever heard of it? Fishbowl exercise. A fishbowl exercise is, for example, let's say you set up a group meeting and you give roles to each person in the meeting and they have to act as a role. Let's say you have a project and you give a role as an account manager, a role as a leader, a role as a public relations, a role as an educator, a role as a parent. Everybody on the outside of those roles will observe and watch and see how those interactions happen. And you can learn about principles of meetings or discussions or brainstorming by observing a group of people playing various roles in a project. So that's quite fun. I'll also show you an example of another creative way I have people learn. Dangerously loud. I have to start from 0 and work up. Let's see. Okay. Here's another word that I sometimes use. This is a particular, at the end of my training course, it's a particular quiz on philosophy. So I'll go through some of the questions. Like one question would be, so it's like a millionaire format. If you've ever seen this game, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And then I ask them different questions. Okay, about the other person identifies with what? Their body, their mind, their subtle body, and their false ego. And then you have people in groups, and they're thinking, what is it Patanjali says? Is it body? Is it mind? Or is Michael having a trick question here? Like, what's going on? What's the answer? So they're thinking about it, and then they may choose an answer. Yeah. And then it kind of progresses through. There's another one. What does Ishvara Pranadhana mean? Anyone know, by the way? What does Ishvara Pranadhana mean? Yeah. What?
Devotion to the
Yeah, devotion to discipline. So it's a very easy way of learning something, but am I doing the work? No, I'm just pressing a few buttons. But they're gaining so much because they have to think about it, they have to debate with their team, they have to recall, they have to consider options, and it guides them through very nicely. So we don't have to be attached to just one way of doing things. As you mentioned, there's multiple ways of achieving a particular purpose in a community. Interesting quote from Socrates. He says that you can't teach anybody anything. You can make them think. So there's a sense in which we can create an environment or a situation where we can get people to think and they can come to various conclusions. There's three, you could say, broad facilitation styles. In your book now, what page is this one?
It's 4.
Just one before, yeah?
Number
13, 11, 10.
Number
8. Page 8. Page 8. So there's 3 broad facilitation styles. One type of facilitation style is knowledge transmission. Knowledge transmission is like lecturing or giving a video. So the teacher has a particular amount of material, and then the students will learn from that material. The second type is interactive learning. Interactive learning. That's where you may ask the group split the group into smaller groups. You may use pair exercises, dramas, debate is also very interactive. And finally, the third broad facilitation style we'll share with you today is something called experiential learning. Experiential learning. Experiential learning. Yeah. So 3 styles of teaching. One is like lecturing and knowledge transmission. Second is group learning. Third is experiential learning. What experiential learning does is takes the person into their past, gets them to reflect on some event or phenomena that's happened in the past, asks them to recall it and what feelings it generated. You then draw a particular lesson or principle from that past, and you see how, based on what happened in the past, how you can apply some new learning for the future. So, give a demonstration. Okay, Chakra Peru.
Yes, sir.
May you think back to a time okay. Example, let's go. Okay, Chakra. Can you think back to a time when you had an interaction with Bhakti Rasayana Sagar Maharaj? Can you think back to a time when you had an interaction or discussion with Maharaj?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Can you briefly tell us what happened? Just briefly.
I went out after people sannyas.
Yeah.
I went to Vrindavan and Temple in Krishna Balaram Mandir.
Okay, so so it was the time just after sannyas, it was in Darwin, and you asked Mark for sort of blessings. Okay, so that was an experience. And when you did ask for that, for those blessings, how did it make you feel? How did it make you feel? What emotions did it generate?
I was feeling blessed, that's really,
You were feeling blessed, okay. What else? What other emotions did that generate for you?
it was, because, the stage of sannyas is quite high stage, let's say. And to be honest, I'm not feeling qualified, but when he blessed me, despite it's not so easy, I got like feeling, I can do it, maybe not now, but it's like achievable. Despite it's difficult to achieve, I can achieve it.
Yeah. Okay. And when you received reciprocation from Raj, what feelings did that leave you with? What feelings did that leave you with?
It's also nice because I was in the holy place. Vrindavan, I was in the temple which Prabhupada was fighting so much for.
Yeah.
And there's so much duties. Then I got my god brother, which he achieved like quite high level of Krishna consciousness. And in this place, in these circumstances, just before the Lord, he blessed me by himself. I was feeling like it's difficult to describe the feeling, but I was feeling, yes, it's so nice, it's like amazing, I could achieve such a blessing in such a place.
Okay, so it left you feeling nice, left you feeling amazing. Is that okay? So let me ask you a question. What principle do you think we can learn from Marge reciprocating with your sincere request for blessings? What can we learn from that?
Well, you can learn about the kindness of advanced persons.
Okay.
Because, for me, just in Polish language, you have the proverb, I don't know what it's called, it's like the simple routine which the Indian people
Reefs, yes.
No reefs, it's just like it's like wooden stick and on the like metal stuff on the end like that, and then just digging the earth.
It's like you take out weeds with it, and it has a stick and a sharp end with a metal.
It's like
So we are
hand
saying
grader.
just
Just
to try to achieve the sun, but using these tools,
So okay, so that's one. But also, what would you say is a general principle that we can learn from Marge acknowledging your request for blessings?
For me, it's kindness only, because even if I'm asking about something to anyone, I must not get it. Because if you're asking someone, giving him free will, whether or not, to give that or to receive that. But he can be accepted the request and be reciprocated. That it's from my point of view, it's so nice way.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So one of the principles you're sharing with us is well, you mentioned earlier that it's the kindness of an advanced soul. So one of the qualities of an advanced soul is kindness. Okay, cool. And the quality of kindness from kindness being the quality of an advanced soul. How can you apply that in your life? How can you apply that practically in your life?
Yeah, just to get the blessing is one thing, but if you know what the blessing is bringing you, so then you must become qualified.
My question is, how can you apply the principle of kindness in your life?
That's it. So I must try to work on my heart, not to be like more humble, more meek, because sannyasa is also quality, it's not just dhamma, just soft and cold. It's just quality, and when you take sannyasa, you're surrendering your mind, body, and words to the service of the Lord, your spiritual master. So for me, this one quality